Howdy ho, Gorehounds. Welcome to another fantastic episode of the Gore Podcast. I'm your not so mean Fluff Master Supreme, Big Johnny D, bringing the shit show in. However, I don't bring the shit show alone. However, we're very light today because I only got one other compadre with me over on this side here. That is the killing machine himself, that delicious meat mountain, Mr. Bobby Amone.
Good evening, motherfuckers. It is Monday, May 6th.
Tis the Monday. Thank you for that, sir. I don't even have to do the date now. It is, but I'm going to say it again because it's May 6th, which the reason Chad Daddy is not here is because his lovely wife, Stephanie, tis her birthday. So happy birthday, Stephanie.
Happy birthday, Steph.
Hope you're having an awesome day. And Scuba should be joining us momentarily. We don't know how momentarily, though, but he just got caught up in some stuff. Nothing too bad. Righty. So today we are talking A Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 5, The Dream Child, released in 1989. And you know what? I'm excited to talk about it. I'm sure Bob and I can talk plenty, just the two of us alone. I'm sad we don't have our horror homies to juggle some opinions, but hopefully we'll get some people in the comments and we'll get some there going there. But before we do that, we're going to do what we always do, and let's talk about what the hell we did in the last weekend. And, to do that, we got to bring it in properly. We don't have our live Scuba, so we will pull in Variant Scuba. So, Variant Scuba, if you could please.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for your
Very nice. Thank you, sir.
I say it every time. I'll say it till we don't have it anymore. I want a piece of fucking cheese pizza now.
Bro, I will literally eat before we go live and watch that. I'm like, fuck, I'm hungry again, even though I'm not.
Yeah.
It's like I did that.
I came home, I ate, I see that, and I'm like, motherfucker, you suck. and I still forget that he's in the corner of that video. I still forget.
Oh, really? You just don't even look at Scoobs. It's just the pizza.
It's like
it's a good looking pizza, bro.
It is. The pizza's talking.
Like whatever ad he ripped that from, man. Like that dude was working that camera that day. You know what I mean? Like hardcore. He knew what he was doing.
Yes,
he wasn't making an ad. He was making art.
He was making sexualized art of pizza pulling.
Yeah, 100%, dude. So, what'd you do in the past weekend, homie?
What did I do this weekend? This weekend, it was a nice weekend, literally. Friday, I worked both jobs. So I worked my regular job, and then my family owns a garden center in town here, so I worked there a little bit Friday afternoon.
Word.
Saturday, me and my brother were in Philadelphia. We went to Monster Jam at the Lincoln Financial Field, and then we went and got fucking fat as fuck and had 2 cheesesteaks. Oh, dude, it was so good.
Were they like any like crazy specialties cheesesteaks or?
So the first place we went to, he's been to, I haven't. It was called Woodrow's Sandwich Shop.
Okay.
And they do cheesesteaks. They do like pork sandwiches. They do even like regular hoagies. And they're not necessarily a big sandwich, but it's a decent size. But I had their regular cheesesteak, but their cheese whiz. And I'm not a truffle person. It was truffle cheese whiz. Dude, that shit was fire. That was easily the best cheesesteak I've had. Easily.
Really?
I would drive the hour and 20 minutes to be like, I want 2.
That's a commitment right there.
It was fucking good. So,
although I've driven farther for worse, not specifically, but I've gone farther and had worse. So for sure.
Yeah. So, and then my brother got the pork sandwich there, and that was fucking phenomenal too. So we did that, and then we went to, of course, Pat's, which is one of the namesake cheesesteak places of Philly, and that was good too. It was all drippy and cheesy and greasy. It was a greasy day. It was a greasy food day. It was absolutely fucking wonderful. It was like a fat kid in a candy store. Oh,
hell yeah.
Heaven. And then later that night, I met up with a friend of mine. We went to a bar and had a few drinks. And that was it Saturday. And then Sunday I worked at the family business to make some extra money. And that was really it. My girlfriend was in Charleston, North Carolina for a bachelorette party. So she's been partying it up all weekend herself.
Nice.
She's finally home, chilling like a villain now. And then I got to watch this movie, which I didn't have to watch, but I watched it. You know, that's it. I didn't have to, but
There's
I did.
enough of it in the memory banks where you're like, I'd be good, but
Just it doesn't. Gotta watch it just for that.
oh man, you got yeah. Sometimes there might be something where it's not that you didn't know about it, but maybe you just didn't forget, you didn't remember. You know what I mean? So you're like, oh yeah, forgot about that little stupid thing.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. But that was all me, man. How about you, bro? What'd you do this weekend?
Oh, let's see. Well, we were supposed to have plans to do my niece's birthday party this weekend, but that got canceled. So we ended up going to our state fairgrounds. There was a little makers show,
Nice.
or expo, if I guess you want to say, however you want to say it. And it was pretty cool. So it's not like a con, although there were some cosplay people and stuff there because given the element of the event, I guess.
Right.
But it's a tech event. Like it's more than that though. Like that's kind of almost even limiting in saying what that is. But it's like one big science fair, dude. Like that's the best way to explain it, right? So you go, they had some food trucks, they had some cool shit outside, dude. They had like bubble making. They had this bus. We didn't get to go on this bus, but it was called the physics bus. So I'm assuming it was like the live action magic school bus, maybe.
Okay.
But there was these giant metal tubes, like almost like they look like horns, right? So like this one guy who was operating them, there was flames coming out, and every once in a while there'd be a burst of flame that would come through all of them. And depending on like how he had it angled, like it would do a different kind of a pitch almost, which is cool. And then he also had like a metal volcano that would work like that as well. And then you go inside, and then there was just a bunch of different booths. There's some stuff people were just selling. Other booths were actual, like, we're creating stuff. So there was like, you ever do the old school, some might call them bottle rockets, but the normal rockets that you would put the engines in at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
C's and D's, right?
Yeah.
All the bigger ones. So there was like a whole club there. I guess there's a big club out of Syracuse. So like they had a booth, and then there was this other school that had this booth of crafts where kids can make rockets that would go off of air pump chutes, or like, or they had a wind tunnel where you could take paper plates and make a UFO and put it into the wind tunnel and go. Yeah. There's a lot of cool, like, make your own stuff. So one of the coolest things, I don't want to take too long on this, is a table that the con in itself was set up with from the people who were putting it on. I think it was like Freeville Library, so I definitely want to give shout outs to them. But they were giving out pins for the con. It was a little robot. It was their little maker bot that is the little symbol for the con, whatever. And the kids actually get to solder the pin and put the lights on for his eyes, which is awesome. Yeah, so they had 4 little soldering stations set up, so all the kids get to go in. They soldered the little battery holder, and then they'll put the 2 lights in, clip those, solder them. Obviously, the kids are using the solder guns, and the people with them are holding the solder and stuff for them, which, God bless them for how many little kids were probably rocking soldering irons that close to their hands. Yeah. But no, it was cool, man. And, daughter really enjoyed it. The 501st was there. And it was, it was Star Wars weekend. So happy belated Star Wars weekend to all the Star Wars fans out there. May 4th and Revenge of the 5th. So no, they were there showing off prop, but like it was more about like prop making and stuff. You know what I mean? Like kind of the coolest thing that was there. And I didn't get to check it out. There was these 2 dudes from a drone racing team there, and they had fucking a couple of their little drones. So you couldn't drive them yourself, but they had extra headsets that you could wear, And so when they were driving them around, you could see what they're seeing from the drone's eye view, dude. And I'm
Oh,
like,
it's
oh
so
my
fucking,
God.
that's fucking cool.
Yeah, dude. Like it looked cool as hell. I would love to try something like that. Obviously, they weren't going to let people just do that because there'd be just wrecking drones all day long.
Oh God, that would be the monetary value behind that would be probably pretty big.
Oh, I could only imagine. But no, it was a lot of cool stuff, man. You know, there was some old timers there too, dude, rocking like some classic trains and stuff like that. There was a whole trailer. They had like six or eight different model train sets, dude, all going around at the same time on this whole build.
That's
There was
fucking cool, too.
another group of old guys. This is even more of a niche thing that I had no idea existed. But they're miniature builders, specifically in the vein of old carnivals. I didn't even know that was a fucking thing. It's a whole club, bro.
Yeah, that's
They're a whole club of dudes, older gentlemen, but they have all these little setup dioramas, dude, of just old school fucking like Barnum and Bailey circuits and shit like that.
that sounds like though one of the most random things, yet so cool. You'd be like,
It is.
I never thought of this, but it's so cool to see.
It is like it's not necessarily my thing, but I always appreciate a good miniature, dude. Always looks cool, and and you could tell that these dudes had some time into it. But yeah, it was just there was like a ham radio tent. I wish I could have checked that out a little bit more, but we didn't get to check that out. But there was even another station, dude, where like they built your own lightsabers, quote unquote. Simplest fucking thing in the world, dude. This is the last thing I'll mention about this, and I'll wrap it all up. But like it was cool as hell. So the kids go over, they pick whatever colored straw they want. Then they pick whatever LED bulb out of the little case. And they give them a watch battery. Take that LED bulb, put the two sides over your watch battery. Boom, your light is on. Right? Dude, then they give you a clothespin. Now you hold your clothespin over top of that. Now you have your handle, right?
Mm-hmm.
They tape that up with a different colored duct tape that the kids get to pick out. Squirt a little hot glue on top of that light, and then you put the straw over it. Boom, mini little lightsaber. And I'm like, bro, that's awesome, man.
That is so fucking cool.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So it was it was a good time, and it's something that I wish would actually happen a lot more, dude. Like get kids more involved in kind of like science. Yeah, there was some arts and crafts shit there. I'm not going to say there wasn't. That's fun stuff too, but there was a lot of stuff going on the tech side, a lot of 3D build stuff that you could learn about and everything, which was, that's sweeping everything now. That's the craze.
Of course.
But it was a solid time, bro. Like 100%.
I mean, just hearing that the kids can solder stuff is you need that, especially for today. You need that.
And the one super random thing that was there besides the Star Wars dudes, there was these two LARP dudes, but they were in legit knight armor, right? But had a fuck ton of LARP weapons, dude. And they were letting all these kids go up with these weapons and beat the shit out of them in the armor to teach them old fighting tactics, dude, with different weapons and to teach them about the armor. Dude, it was cool, man. Like it was just this cool little like fucking fair our friends told us about. It was super like last minute, but glad
you make me want to come out for that. That just sounds like a good time.
I guess it's their second
year. Hey, there he is.
Cuba. It's it was their second year running. So hopefully next year. And that was something where even like me and my buddy were talking, maybe that is a thing I might get my Ghostbusters group involved. And we can go as easy as let's do a little science experiment on some slime making. You know what I mean?
Oh, there you go. That's perfect.
It's simple enough to where, but it would still work. And I don't know, it'd be something cool for everybody to do instead of just the normal like raffle that we try to do. You know what I mean? So
yeah, no, that would be cool. Hell yeah.
No, that was a fun time. So yeah, man, if you ever get a makers fair or a tech fair near you, I would definitely say go check it out. It was fun.
Okay. Absolutely.
Even if you don't have kids, man, like it wasn't necessarily just a kids thing. You know what I mean? Like so there was a fairy build. This was the racket, bro. I need to get into this racket. There was a table that you can make your own fairy gardens at, right? You guys know what fairy gardens are, right? Okay.
Yeah. We sell plants for them.
Okay, cool. So you know exactly what
I do.
$25 a head, and it's a 2-hour class. I watched this, homie, and I'm not talking bad on him by any means. This dude's smart as fuck. This dude must have been running low on supplies, and he went over and hit the recycle bin to get a bunch of fucking bottles and shit out of there and like caps and stuff. And I just laughing because like I heard somebody saying something, and I'm like, yo, man, you could be ditching on him, but I'm like, think about it. $25 a head. He had at least 8 to 10 people over at that table now. That's not his first party. You know what I mean? That's his last party of the day at this point. So let's say this was an 8-hour con and he's doing 2-hour sections. So even if he gets 4 groupings at 10 people a pop at $25 a head, and that dude's just bringing bark and hot glue and some fucking garbage to the table, bro's a fucking genius, man.
That is literally genius. That is, yeah.
That's recycling at its finest.
That
Bro,
too.
100%. It was fantastic. And the dude had an awesome hat on too. It was like kind of like a steampunk hat, but like earthy.
Oh,
I dug it.
that's
a lot of characters at this place too, which was cool. So that's good.
Yeah, we're all characters.
Yeah, 100%, dude. 100%. And then I watched this movie actually kind of almost once and a half, dude. I would say twice, but I didn't get to finish it the second time. So I'm ready to talk about that. But first, I'm going to hand it right back over to Scuba's because now that he got to join us. So, Scuba, how was your weekend, homie?
I didn't do shit, man. I stayed home Friday. Actually, I'm lying. I did do shit because Thursday was Charlie's first birthday.
Happy birthday, Charles.
Happy belated birthday to my princess. And then Friday, I woke up for work and I felt like ass. I don't know what the hell was wrong with me. My body, I felt like you know how when you get one of those really good workouts in and every single one of your joints and your muscles just are sore, but it's that 2-day after sore.
The good sore. Like it hurts, but you like it.
Yeah. But then you wake up that second day and you're like, oh, fuck. That's how I felt. I didn't work out. So I didn't know what the hell was wrong with me. I got up, went to work. My boss saw me and was like, go home. She's like, don't insult me by showing up here and you don't feel good. Go home. And I said, okay. So I went home. I slept all day. Woke up, still kind of felt crappy. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe it's one of my medications that my body's getting used to or something that just made me feel like shit. And then Saturday, I didn't take my medications and I felt okay. We had Charlie's birthday party. So I posted on Facebook that Charlie wanted a Blackstone grill for her birthday. Well, she got it. She got a Blackstone grill for her birthday.
Yeah.
What's the first thing she's gonna cook on it?
She made Daddy make hamburgers and hot dogs on it for her birthday party. So it was an early Father's Day present. Mel got it for me, and I'm like, it's not even Mother's Day yet. She's like, I don't care. You can use it for the party. And I said, okay, cool. So I set up the Blackstone, cooked like almost 40 burgers.
Like, it is a gift for you, but at the same time, like
it's a gift for the family.
No, but it is, but it's more of like it's more of a tool than anything. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Let's be honest, dude. Like,
I've already used it every day since we got it. So we got it Saturday, and I've used it every day since. And then the party went good. And then yesterday, what did I do yesterday? I did a lot of nothing yesterday. I played Helldivers with Mel for a little bit.
Yeah, there you go.
That was it. And then today, I didn't work today. I called in. I didn't really call in, but I work next Saturday during the day, so we get to flex a day out during the week. So I was like, 4-day weekend. Fuck it. I'll flex today. I'm good. So I didn't do shit today at all. I'm literally still in the clothes I slept in.
Nice.
I don't give a shit. I'm eating for the first time right now.
I like that you slept in a Freddy shirt. Just
I did
today
because I watched the movie, and I'm like, I put it on last night, and Mel's like, absolutely not. We're not going to sleep watching. I was like, this isn't a scary movie. She didn't see what it was. I was like, look, there's people having sex. This is not a scary movie. It's not a scary movie. She figured it out that it was Freddy Krueger.
I mean, it's still not a scary movie.
It was not a scary movie at all.
Yeah.
And so I finished watching it today because I got 7 minutes in and I was like, I'm tired. I'm just going to go to bed. So
fair.
Yeah.
Yo, dude, sometimes like if if you are at that tired stage, it doesn't even matter if you kind of wanted to watch that movie. Like
Yeah.
you won't be invested like you want to
Yeah.
be invested.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get
No.
it 100%.
So I played Helldivers all day today. Finally got up to level 33.
Nice. I saw you on there earlier when I was doing the page.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I was like,
and
"You
then,
son of a bitch! I gotta go cook dinner. I want to."
well, Mel had left. Mel had left. She took her and Charlie went to Kaylee's house, and Charlie's just been in a mood lately where she does not want to take naps. She is so anti-nap, so she didn't take a nap. Went to Kaylee's. Kaylee's son tuckered her out. Mel got her out the car. She didn't even lift her head. It was one of those slumped over, knocked out. She got here. I'm like,
the
we
dead
have,
nap
like-
doesn't work for her.
it does not. Sometimes it does.
So you
Sometimes
can't
it
just
does.
like hold her down a little bit to where like you just pass out and she's like fine.
She starts yanking on this. She's like,
Oh.
she knows what to do to get me to just be like, okay, you're fine. But she passed out, and now they left to go to Sonia's house, which is Mel's best friend. They went to Sonia's to go have dinner over there, and I got left with Taco Bell. And now I'm here to talk about this movie. I mean, I'm in
Taco
peace
Bell.
and quiet, and with Taco Bell,
Taco Bell is always a solid choice, man.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Sweet. All right. So today we are talking, obviously, like I said earlier, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, The Dream Child, released August 11th, 1989. This was a group pick because obviously we are reviewing the series this year.
yeah, Mel was real mad. Mel said, "Who picked this movie?" I said, "Baby, it was a group pick. We're doing all the Nightmare movies." She was like, "Oh, because I was about to bash whoever picked this movie." She didn't like it. She didn't like it.
Listen, it's definitely not the worst movie we've ever watched.
It's
No,
not. It's not.
It's not.
So, I mean, we've watched some real bad ones. I was telling Bob actually before we start, before I get into the plot here, before the show, there's another podcast I listen to, and they mentioned when they watch their movies, they do it twice, regardless. And there's just some movies, dude, that we have watched where I don't know if I could watch it twice.
Yeah, no, hell no.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
I could not watch Giallo films twice.
It was hard enough getting the first fucking time to
Yeah.
bro.
If you made it a requirement, like you had to show you watch it,
I would
twice,
quit the show.
I would literally be like this. I'm like, you're lucky you're gonna get once. Don't.
I would
ask
just
again.
lie. I would just lie and say, "Yeah, I watched it twice."
I mean,
watched it
okay. Now I'm not gonna say that there's a few times that I haven't, and sometimes
Yeah.
when you watch it that second time, you watch it from a different standpoint. So
Yes.
I could see where it maybe could be better. Maybe you would end up liking a movie more than the first time, or you could hate it even fucking
Mhm.
more. You know, it could go either way.
Or you could love it the first time you watch it
And
you
realize
watch
it's
it again
shit.
subjectively, and you're like, "Oh, this is not that good." Oh, we should try that. Not
Well,
with
it's kind of
shitty
how I
movies.
felt when we watched Nightmare 4. I mean, I know it's great, but I'm like, yo, man, this Swiss cheese is too much.
That's why I watched this one. I tried watching this one a second time today, dude. I got about halfway through it. What's up, Brody? Also, what's up to the rest of the homies here? We got Rich,
Castellar.
Castellar. Sorry, thank you. I
Daniel.
didn't want to butcher. I did not want to butcher that. All right. I had an idea, but here we go. All right,
John
plot
may
re-
look it, but he is not Latino.
No, not even fucking close. Apparently, a lot of people think I'm Italian too, and I'm like, no, not Italian.
You have one of those looks that could pass
For like
for Malta.
anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm a mutt. I know. All right. With no sign of Freddy Krueger after the razor sharp horror in A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, the Dream Master, Alice Johnson is confident that she has survived the wrath of the clawed dream demon. But the evil son of 100 maniacs has found a workaround. The undeveloped fetus of an oblivious young mother-to-be is now Freddy's key to the physical world. As horrible visions start haunting Alice's troubled dreams again, an unexpected ally from the past offers closure. However, Alice and her vulnerable friends are running out of time. Can the new batch survive the dream within a dream and the blood-chilling advent of the infernal Dream Child? Directed by Stephen Hopkins, Predator 2 and Lost in Space. Both good movies on completely different spectrums.
Yes.
Written by John Skip, Class of 1999, and Tales of Halloween. Also, Craig Spector, Volcano, Fire on the Mountain, and Animals. Holy shit, we got a lot of writers. Leslie
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Boehm, Dante's Peak, and The Darkest Hour. Okay, so three. Produced by Robert Shea, Stranded, The Prince of Pennsylvania. What the fuck is that?
That's a
Daddy?
good question.
He
It's a
can't
movie
answer
about
us.
TJ.
Yes. Rupert Harvey, Pump Up the Volume, and Bones. Bobby, take it away.
One thing I'm going to, real quick, Gene said, hey, all, Dead Ringers is better than Part 5. That's questionable, but
We'll get
sure.
there.
We'll go with that. I don't know if it's better, but
It's two completely different categories.
yeah,
of
you
style
can't.
of movie,
That's
man.
one of those things where I'm like, you can't compare that. Now, anyway, we'll get to that in a little bit. Okay. Starring Lisa Wilcox, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures, The Bloody Man as Alice Johnson, Robert Englund. I mean, we know what he did, but all right, I'll give you a couple here. Killer Tongue. I kind of want to watch that now. And Python as Freddy Krueger. Kelly Jo Minter, Summer School Popcorn as Yvonne Miller. Erica Anderson, Twin Peaks.
Zendali.
Zendali. I was about to say Xanadu. I'm like, no, that's not right. As Greta Gibson. Danny Hassel, The China Lake Murders, Reunion from Hell 2 as Dan Jordan. Whit Hertford, The Addams Family, Jurassic Park as Jacob Johnson. Joe Seeley, Shag, The Iron Triangle as Mark Gray. Nicholas Melee, Going Under as Dennis Johnson. Burr DeBenning, The Game as Mr. Jordan. Clarence Felder, The Hidden, The Last Boy Scout as Mr. Gray. And Beatrice Boepple, Stakeout Manatee as Amanda Kruger. Total body count of only three.
Fucking three, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
This has to be the weakest for
Yeah.
kills in the series, I would imagine.
And
I could be
Yeah.
wrong.
Well,
We haven't
yeah.
watched them yet, so we'll get there.
All right.
All
Music by Jay Ferguson, Bad Dreams, Tremors 2, Aftershock. Cinematography by Peter Levy, Predator 2, Lost in Space. Edited by Brent A. Schoenfeld. The Terror
Schoenfeld?
Within. Schoenfeld. The Terror Within, Leatherface, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Chuck Weiss, Uphill All the Way, Brothers in Arms. Makeup and effects by KMB. Distributed by New Line Cinema. Runtime 90 minutes. MPAA rating R. Budget $8 million, and it grossed $22.1 million.
So it still made money.
Nowhere near Force level of money, though.
No, not even.
Well, 4 was what, in the 70s?
Yeah, Force
yeah,
is
it was. I think it was like
ridiculous.
70 million, something like that.
something
Yeah.
like that.
All right.
But
so, go ahead, Bob.
all I was gonna say, I'll start this off like
Please do.
I know 4 is very successful. I get it. It's the MTV Friday. But I was saying to John before the show, so 3 was the build-up of the roller coaster. I still think 3 is one of the perfect movies in this franchise, along with the first one and the other, and New Nightmare. 4, I've said it last time, it's very Swiss cheese. So to me, that's where it's the roller coaster's kind of at the peak, but it's just getting to where it's gonna, but not necessarily fast. It's just gonna go down. I feel the reason why this movie didn't do so well, yes, it can go behind the scenes too, but I also feel is because behind the scenes on 4, there was still a lot of crap. This movie was the product of some of that crap and trying to get this back into a little bit more serious territory, and it just didn't pan out.
All right, fair enough. Scoobs, you said this did not hold up for you.
It did not. I've, as we all have, I'm sure, have watched the entire series multiple times. There's times where I've put them on back to back to back to back to back, and I've watched all of them all the way through. I've never really sat there, and I guess, like I said, watching these movies now for the podcast, it kind of makes me look at the movies differently, you know? And I'm still
100%.
watching them as a fan. I'm still watching them as a fan because I will always be a horror fan. These movies
Yeah, but
will
too, but
always
you've
be-
been
in my
You've
heart.
been reviewing movies for years now with us, dude, and
I don't know why it's
It's-
hitting harder this year.
it's
It is-
weird. Yeah, dude, because you're just
Yeah.
looking at everything a lot more clinical, I guess. you
Yeah,
know?
well, so at the beginning of the year, I said, you know what? I'm gonna be a little bit more like pay attention to the movies instead of just watching it and being like, oh my god, this is the best movie ever because I watched it because of this, this, and this, and this, and my dad and nostalgia. So I'm looking at the movies different. And for this one, it just didn't stick with me. The acting for me was horrible. Especially that one dude that was her friend that was like, oh my god. Like he just
Oh, the comic dude.
yeah, the comic dude. I hated him every time he was on screen. I felt like the story was it was a cool premise. Freddy coming in through the dreams of an embryo. Like,
I dig it.
cool.
Yes.
I do dig that. I just feel like it was not presented properly, and it might be because there were so many writers. Now that I see that
Yeah.
there's multiple writers, and the deaths for me were kind of lame. They're really
That's fair.
I mean, Dan's death was probably
Dan-
the coolest death.
Dan's not even his death, but
Well,
his whole
the
death,
transformation.
Yeah.
his death
Oh.
scene, dude.
Yeah.
From
Because-
like the truck to the motorcycle back to the truck, like that whole scene.
That was
just
Yeah,
beautiful.
and then
awesome.
really, it's the cool, cinematics leading up to his death for me kind of were taken away when we see that he just died in his truck. Like, you build up this badass like motorcycle dream demon thing that he turned into, but then it wasn't that. He died in his truck. I don't know. And Freddy really
Speed
didn't
kills Dan.
Freddy didn't really he really never gets a lot of screen time, but this Freddy just wasn't scary. There was nothing menacing about this Freddy. And then another thing, why the fuck would anybody believe Alice? She's already been through this before. You don't think it didn't make any sense. Like, and that's what I hate about movies with continuing main characters is they've already been through this before, but they always get a new group of friends that don't believe them when there's actual proof of what happened already in the past, And so just the friend that's like, oh, I don't want to hear that. It has nothing to, it's not this Freddy Krueger. Come on. Like, I
Wait,
don't
which
know.
one was that? Was
the
that the
the
nurse
black
one?
chick. Yeah, the nurse. Yeah.
word.
Yeah.
She's not even a nurse. She's a candy striper.
Which can you do that when you're in high school?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
It was
'Cause,
the-
like, they
was-
graduated.
It was the
She was
80s.
already
You could
working
probably
on
get
it.
away with anything. if
Yeah,
you
it was the
wanted.
80s. So
that's
as a
true.
candy striper, probably because you were just like maybe changing beds and stuff. You weren't doing anything clinical.
So it's kind of like a busboy almost.
Yeah, pretty much. Brody says this film was cut down so much in the edit that some conversation edits make that. Yeah, and Mel pointed that out. She's like, I hate the dialogue in this movie. She's like, it doesn't make any sense. They're having this full
Yeah.
conversation, and then the responses didn't really work.
Ma-
And that's
it
what this
didn't
movie
match
felt
up.
like. Thank you, Gene. Thank you for saying that, because I was literally going to say this movie felt like Saved by the Bell mixed with Freddy Krueger.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
It just didn't. It had that like sitcom kind of feel to it, and I don't know, man. It did not stick with me, and
See,
even-
I feel,
even the whole design of Freddy as a baby. Freddy was a normal kid. He was
Okay.
just,
That was funny to me. And that's always funny. Not in a good fun either, though. It's just because it's like, wait a minute, what are we doing here? Because we know he was human.
yeah,
So, like,
exactly. He didn't come
why-
out.
but I don't think that was actually baby him. I think that was the essence of him re-showing up as a baby in the dream, like
yeah.
birthing himself.
But why? When he's never done that before, he's just, I'm here.
Because I don't know, man, because he's a fucking dream demon now. So he's just like, yeah, I'm a fucking demon baby. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not saying it doesn't look goofy, but I still, for some reason, kind of dig it because I'm still like, yeah, it makes sense with the character of Freddy to me.
I don't know, man. There's just a lot that just didn't make any sense in this movie, and I can see where they were trying to go with it, and maybe trying to make it a little bit more serious than the last one, but
Yeah.
it did not
Okay.
work.
Now, with going in that, the seriousness we're talking, or at least that what I think you're talking about is we're not getting any Jaws scene of him fucking coming through the water
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
fucking glove and the sunglasses and all that other bullshit, right? So I've always disliked this movie. I've said it numerous fucking times coming even up to this episode that I feel like 5 was the biggest piece of trash in the series. After watching it, like Scoop said, subjectively for the show, I feel my taste have changed. Not saying it's not bad. I just think I think I liked this more than 4. And I try, Brody, you might appreciate this, you might not. I tried watching this through the vein of what I would think Brody would watch this as. Because I know Brody likes this. So I'm like, why does Brody like this? Let me watch it through these eyes that I could possibly do. And see, right there, that was my first thing. His resurrection was already better in this one compared to 4 because he's not coming back from fucking dog.
That I will.
mean,
I will definitely agree with you.
Okay,
on
so
that
I give
one.
you that one. And
well, on top of the fact, I thought his resurrection scene to me was pretty badass because we go back to the church or the cathedral, whatever the fuck you want to call it, from the end of the 4th one, right? That they had their final battle, which the final battle in the 4th one fucking sucked. Let's be honest, dude. We all thought that.
Yes.
Like, it was pretty fucking lame. What? It was the mirror that killed him, his reflection, whatever the fuck it was. So at least like this one, he like comes back and he, you know what I mean? Like the way he's growing and stuff, it looks, I don't know. I thought it looked cool with his elongated hands and fucking feet and shit like that. And I thought the cathedral itself looked cool. You know what I mean? Very gothic feeling to it. And that was all Nightmare, which is another thing I want to add to this. This movie specifically, in comparison to 4, the nightmares feel more like nightmares to me. Yes. I feel like 4 didn't really kind of hit that good nightmare vibe, where this one, and it still might not be as good to some people, but like I feel like they really, especially the comic shit, dude. Come on, like that's really getting into like some crazy dream territory where you'd be able to do some shit like that. Well, and even Dan's death scene, dude. You know what I mean? Like we were going, Freddy literally becomes a fucking transformer in it, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
well, and also these nightmares are actually playing on things that people either don't like or things that they love. Like he loved comics. What better nightmare for him to have that he dies in a comic? This girl's not trying to get fat. Well, what better way for her nightmare to be that you're going to blow up literally by food?
And that was another one that I kind of liked because that one reminded me of almost the ridiculousness of the cockroach scene from 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
that's my all-time favorite line from the entire series, other than Freddy versus Jason. Bon appetit, bitch. That is, I love I love that line better than "Welcome to Prime Time."
Like, I could be wrong, but is this? There's got to be a count somewhere, and this is we're already too late into the series to do it. But like, I feel like he might say "bitch" the most in this one.
He does.
I know
he does say it.
He says it a lot, dude.
Yes.
Like I wish we had a bitch counter. Like if we had a maybe Freddy versus Jason, but he's not the only one sharing screen time with as the killer. You know.
I wonder if that's a thing online. Let me look. Keep
it
talking.
Definitely has to be.
Freddy Krueger bitch counter.
And my favorite part of that whole scene is he turns his knives into a knife spoon, a second helping. Like, oh come on! Like, it was dark, and it's also a fear that people have because they don't want to be. Like, that's someone's psyche.
But I like the fact that like all these kids, they're at the point where they're so tired they're falling asleep in front of people and they're still getting offed right in front of people.
But the thing, see, and that's what I didn't get, because first they're like, oh well, Freddy's getting to our world through the baby's dreams or whatever she said.
So it's through he uses the baby to get into her dreams because she's the one who has the power to control dreams.
Oh, okay.
Because she's so strong, she learned how to do it. She taped him off. He couldn't do it. So that's why she's like, I can't figure out how he's doing it now, because she's forgetting that she has a completely unlocked, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
mind in her that's attached to her. So it's definitely like a three-way process, but that's how I took it. Like, he's still utilizing her, but he's utilizing her through her fetus.
And,
I guess.
the other thing I want to say also is that I said this to John before, and I said, this movie actually feels a little bit more of a kind of a full circle in a sense for Freddy. And I said, because obviously the first movie had hinted at that he was a little bit of a child molester and stuff. It obviously was hinted at. It was never really taken off. Fast forward now 4 or 5 movies later, it's like, well, now you're coming through through a child to get to them. Like, that really has a different sense, especially since that was hinted at, even though they say, well, it's not really there. Like, it was always hinted at. So for me, it's like I say full circle in the sense of, you really are, as we all know, the bastard son of 100 maniacs, and you really are now, like, you're using a child to get to adults.
That line is so weird because it's like she has that dream where she wakes up with Robert Englund in her bed. You remember that? Like the brief, like right in the beginning, which makes me wonder, like, was he just the last one in the train and that was the one that stuck? Or is like was he just so vile that his was the winner, you know?
So he says bitch 3 times in this movie.
That's it?
Yeah, only 3 times.
Feels like
what?
Yeah, he says it more in the next. In the next one, he'll say it 5 times.
Okay.
And
he
then
only says it 3? That's it?
In New Nightmare, he says it's 6. Or maybe it's given a total count.
Because this, he says it at least to his mom in the first dream where he's resurrected.
Yeah, it says
he says times. It to the girl he's stuffing the face. You know what, Corey? Could be right. Very could be right. Could be a little Voldemort. See, honestly, like, this is 1989. Freddy's doing the same thing as Vigo. He's just trying to be reborn through a child, man. You know.
Oh, this is how many times he says it in the series. So by the end of Freddy versus Jason, he says it 13 times completely in the series. But it doesn't give me a breakdown of like how many times he says it in
each movie.
Yeah. Let me see.
That number seems
maybe it was only 3 times in the movie.
It's 3. It's 3.
Because I feel like
4. I'm lying. It's 4 times. Yeah.
Mom, the girl at the feeding table. I feel like he said it to Alice at least at some point, maybe towards the end. I wonder where that extra one is. Maybe the extra is to the swim friend that got away.
I don't remember.
Probably.
Yeah. Word. No, so like I said, man, watching this for the podcast, like, I don't know. I didn't hate it as much as I originally did. And I think a lot of the set pieces and everything is what like changed my mind on it and stuff. Like looking at it from that, like, okay, I could see they were really trying here, and it didn't feel like, man, 4 still just pisses me off that we had the Dream Warriors get ixed in like the first 20 fucking minutes, dude. You know what I mean? Like, fuck that movie for that. That shit should have lasted like 2/3 of the way, died in some crazy battle, and then Alice had to like finish the fucking thing with her newfound powers and all that. You know what I mean? Like, that should have been.
That would have been the best thing to do.
But like this one, yeah, we only get 3 deaths, but each death is
unique.
I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it sticks really in the nice dream realm. You know what I mean? We're not getting an invisible karate fight with just some nice fucking curtains.
Yeah, but the paper death was kind of lame.
I'm not going to say the death in itself wasn't lame because it felt like it was out of.
I felt like they didn't have, to me, this is watching, I'm like, I wonder if they ran out of money. Did they run out of money? Yeah. And this is why they had to make a giant paper and just have Robert fucking like, And I get that it's part of the dream comic sequence or whatever. I
I
just felt like the death could have been a little bit better.
I could see both. I could see honestly like, hey, we need this comic book thing. And then they're like grand scheming it and they're like, okay, yeah, we need to like pull that back a little bit because we can't do that.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a life-size paper drawing.
The motorcycle robot prop took way too much money, dude. So we need to cast it.
And the prosthetic on the woman's face who got fucking eating to death. Yeah, that's a little too much too.
We need to fucking like seal this back a little bit.
I do love that this movie takes the little bit more darker turn. I feel Freddy's a little more darker in this. I like a darker Freddy. I like the humor, but I like him a little darker. Because then the next movie, we go right back to fucking
I think we
over the top comedic.
Yeah, there's like cheese on the cracker, and then it's like your friend that just doesn't stop, and now it's all over your hand, and you're like, dude. Like that's number 6. But sometimes it's good. Sometimes you just want a lot of cheese, you know?
No, there's nothing wrong with that. But the 6 is also you know what it is? It's the cheese fountain. And you want to just have a little bit of cheese. And someone said, nope, I'm going to leave this in here for the next hour and a half and see what happens when I take it out.
Cheese fountain would be cool. I've always seen chocolate ones, but
I've had a cheese one.
Yeah?
Good.
I want a gravy fountain.
Fuck you, that'd be
amazing. What kind of gravy?
Like white pepper gravy.
Oh, I want
brown gravy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're thinking breakfast style.
Yeah. I want brown gravy for my mashed potatoes.
Because I'm just thinking cheese, dude. Like cheese, you could have a lot of different things for dipping. Anything fried is good for that cheese.
Your face.
Yeah, right. French fries, corn dogs, bro.
But yeah, no, I feel like, and like I said, I did like this movie. I did. And I'm still gonna watch it whenever
It's not the best though. I'm not going to disagree with you on the statement of like, I'm not saying like this is amazing, you know what I mean, by any means.
And I mean, as much as I did not like part 4, I like this one less.
That's fair. That's how I used to feel.
I don't know, man. Like the whole dream power thing just kind of got shit on. You know,
it didn't get utilized as well in this one, where it's like, although she could have maybe lost full control because she did say with that first dream that she felt like it was the first dream in a long time she had no control in. You know what I mean?
But it wasn't her dream, or no, was it her dream?
It was her dream, but it was her almost remembering. It was when Amanda Kruger got locked in the cell.
That's right.
They were cowing.
Yes.
She got. First of all, let's talk about this opening scene, bro. Actually, the opening scene is the opening credits, which is a sex scene.
Yeah,
so that's how we know she at least had sex, and now she's pregnant down the road.
Prego.
Right. That's the whole premise of the story. But right in the beginning, we got her in the shower. And we get this nasty poop water that just starts bubbling up.
Yeah.
First of all, don't put your hand in that stuff, dude. Just get out of the shower. That's gross. Go, like, you know what I mean? Like, ew.
And you know, I will say that this movie did give me a fear of that happening as a child.
The poop showers?
No, not the poop shower. The shower filling up like that.
Oh, filling up in the glass?
My grandma has a shower like that. And so when I was little and I would shower at her house, that was always a fear. So I will give it to little Scuba watching this. He was terrified of this movie.
That's fair enough. Those showers are always weird too. Just being a glass shower, you're like, everybody can see my butt. But the fact that like she's sitting in the poop water, but she puts her face down near the hole to look into it. Man, if this wasn't a horror movie and it was a comedy, she would get a fucking big old facial of poop. Like there's no fucking way. It's so gross, bro.
Taco Bell.
Fuck yeah, dude. All right, Scoobs will be right back. He is temporarily detained. So, I mean, like I said, I understand it's not a perfect movie. I understand there's some edits that is wonky.
Well, yeah.
But I think set-wise, dude, the sets look solid. Like even the old Freddy house. I don't know if that's still the same set we got from number 4. I'm assuming maybe.
Probably. they probably changed it a little bit to make it look so it wasn't, but I'm willing to bet it was.
I mean, man, it'd be crazy if they rebuilt that whole set just a few years later, but it's possible, I guess.
but
You know?
never say never, because there's a lot of shit that they would be like, they
Reusing
definitely
stuff.
thought, not so much we're not going to not do another one, but they're like, well, we don't know if we're going to need this, so just get rid of it and we'll just do something else. Like,
No, that's fair. That's fair. It's
And-
just, it was just grody. You know what I mean? Like it just looked gross and disgusting, and just how it did in 4. But I still feel like, because they had the placement of the stairs and everything in the right way, I feel like it's the same set. Scoop said Mick's brother worked on this one. I believe
he
Bob?
did. I believe he
Okay.
did, which it'll probably be in the notes, but I believe he did do that. Yeah.
Word.
But you know something, though? What I will say is with the set in 4, I know we discussed it already, compared to this one, just that the house alone in 4, that house, it looked just too, it just didn't look like it belonged. I don't know what it is, but there's a lot of things in 4 that 4 is the bright movie. It's just too bright for me. It's just too much. I understand there's horror movies that have light moments. They're supposed to have light moments, but 4 is just a movie that is, it's a big, bright, blue-skied, sunny day with Freddy in it. Whereas this is the,
Kind of back to the darkness.
Yeah, that's the aspect I like of this movie. Yes, it's not perfect, but again, it just hits on certain cylinders, and one of them is, I'm going to go back to that beginning sequence, finding this nun in a room full of men she can't leave.
Yeah, dude. You get all the 3 doors that get sealed, and you're just like,
Yeah, like that's somebody's worst nightmare, literally.
yeah, man.
Like that literally it just gives me that darkness element that I'm like, this is what 4 was missing.
Yeah, I mean, it's gross, it's terrifying, and I don't know, maybe if it's because just the production in itself, like even though things were solid, maybe it was just a little less, so things were, if maybe felt a little cheaper. I don't know if that's the right word, but you know what I'm trying to go for. Like,
I know what you're trying. Yeah,
I think that's where Scoobs was going with the whole like the fucking like the after school special kind of thing.
Yeah, I get that. No, and I do, because it does have that little aspect of it here. I don't feel it's as profound, maybe,
Word.
but I definitely understand that it's there.
All right. Well, let's oh my goodness, what did I just do? Whoops. Okay, so Scuba says, well, why can't Freddy be out in the day though? He's a dream demon, so that would make sense. Yeah, I mean, if they're so like, does he daydream? Like, can he jump into a daydream?
I mean, I'm willing to bet he can't. It's not that he can't, Lord Scoobs. It's just, it was just too light of a movie. There was just not enough darkness. Not necessarily in the light of the day. There just wasn't enough darkness in 4 for me.
I'm looking forward to this. I want to see this big-breasted Brazilian.
I kind of want to too now, but if they make another Nightmare, hey, get this comment.
Dude, if they made a new Nightmare, man, I don't know. I'd almost want them to kind of do it like. So I'm not saying like actor, but so there was a little web series, right, dude, and it was supposed to be before he became the Dream Demon, and there was this dude that played like Human Freddy, and it was like a 5 little part miniseries, but the dude in it was fantastic. Kind of looked like England, dude. He had a really good look to him. Voice was kind of whatever, but
you can manipulate that later.
I still feel like the dude played a solid, legit little part, dude, for this web series. And I'd almost kind of like to see that. We've gotten glimpses at Freddy's past here and there, but and maybe this is going too on the superhero bend, so I apologize. But what if we got like a solid like third of it that was actually like more of his origin? You know what I mean? Like we got to sit with Human Freddy and then have him off a couple kids until the one he gets caught. And then we actually go through the court proceedings and we see like the fuck up, and then we see him get chased down, and now halfway through it, he comes back as a dream demon, and now we're dealing with that shit.
And they did do that in the first episode of the Freddy's Nightmares, which is probably the best episode of the whole series. But I honestly I agree. I would love to see a nightmare where we meet Fred, call him Fred. It seems like he's a decent guy, then we all know he's not, and it turns into this. Honestly, and if you wanted to, because I don't know what it is lately, I'm just into like the dark shit. That could probably be, if done right, the darkest chapter, because you're dealing with real life event that's going to turn this into what we all know it is.
And imagine like, and this is just me being weirdly stylistic on it, but imagine if we got all this like old school kind of like him and his human life, like that section of the movie was in black and white. And then when he comes to Dream Demon and we come to present day, now it's all in color. Like, I don't know if that would, especially because like if we stuck it with time periods, so like let's stick it with the right time periods, right? So we're rebooting this shit. We're still rebooting it in the 80s, right? So the teens still stick in the 80s. So when he was killed, he's doing shit in the 60s and the 70s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know for how long, but let's just say though, just so we can get some cool time era shit. And the Wizard of Oz.
That would be cool.
I don't know, just some random thoughts.
Well, no, even let's just think back to the first movie. He murdered at least 20 kids in that neighborhood. He didn't do it over. Well, he probably could. He didn't do it over.
Yeah, but it was over the. Yeah, I was gonna say it had to be the span of over multitudes of years.
So that's what.
Sure,
so
like,
that would literally that would be the perfect foil of like, well, he murdered 20 kids before this. So what? When it's like it would be. So when did it start? We already have a feeling we know when it ended. Kind of. Yeah, you can fudge that a little bit. So you could literally give a whole movie on that, and I guarantee you that would really. I think it would also be fucked up as to how he would use the finger knives as the weapon before he is the Freddy we know.
Well, I think you'd see him like. I think you would see him do the thing where like he's either maybe drugging some kids or he's like nabbing them off a playground or anything like that. Like he's not bringing his utensils out until the kid's back in his house. You know what I mean? Because like he's doing shit in his fucking basement and everything. Like, that's where he's sticking it. Gene, I'm sorry, but I want old man Logan Freddy as well. Scuba, welcome back. Hope you're feeling better.
Be nice.
And now that Scuba is back, I figured we'd listen to the Doppelganger Kangabanga and see what he has to say about this movie.
Yes, please.
All righty. Saucy Alcy, come on in.
Howdy, folks. It's your DKB here back for another episode of Gore. And this week, we're here to talk to you about Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5. Yes, we are scraping the bottom of the barrel of this franchise. I will admit that, but nonetheless, I am a huge fan of this fucking franchise. No matter what, I'm very biased with it, so I can watch any of these films and still enjoy myself. That's just me. I know a lot of people hate this film, obviously. I will admit it's definitely not the best in the series. It's fucking far from it whatsoever. But I'm here to talk to you about why I really appreciate this film. Probably more so for the fact that when I was a kid, I would borrow out this film from the VHS store, probably more so than Part 4 and Part 2. I have no idea why. Well, I guess it really comes down to one of the greatest deaths in this whole entire franchise, my favourite personally, which is in this film, and that is Dan's death. And because we had the uncut version here in Australia, I got to see everything. And there's not too much that they took out of that uncut death scene, but uncut death scene, out of that death scene alone. But there is a little bit more that they add to it if you watch it on YouTube. It just, they dive a little bit more into the body horror element where we get to see a lot more of his leg, his arms, his face getting all fucked up. And me personally, I am a huge fan of body horror. I love that HR Giga design, Geiger, whatever the fuck it is. But yeah, I thought this was one of the cool, when I first seen it as a kid, I was like, this is the dopest fucking kill I've ever seen. I just wish the rest of the film could have portrayed a lot more in that creativity throughout the rest of the film. But yeah, let's move on. So one of the positives I have with this film is bringing back the character of Ellis. I thought she was an actual really strong character by the end of the fourth film, so it's great to see her return in this. The only downfall to that is she doesn't have her powers from part 4. Maybe they fucked off out of her when she defeated Freddy. I do not know. They don't really explain it, but in this one, she's just sort of there with new friends, and that's fine, whatever it is. Oh, Dan comes back as well, which is great. Their chemistry, like they actually are probably more so a believable couple in this one than they are in the fourth one.
100%.
So it's great to see the chemistry between those two actors.
They were
it's
trauma
actually
bond.
believable to an extent.
Yeah.
Yeah, the premise itself. See, a lot of people obviously more so hate this premise than they do love it. I do think it's a bit of a weird and unique type premise, especially when they were trying to write a script and film at the same time. The premise, I'm at a bit of a crossroads with myself because I have this really weird question that I always bring up, and it's more so for the fact that how the fuck can a baby dream if it's never experienced life on the outside of the womb in like real life? You know, it's a fetus. Like how the fuck
Reincarnation.
can a baby dream if it hasn't seen or been outside in, like, you know, it's just.
Well,
it's different. Apparent, I don't know if babies can actually dream. I never really looked it up, but this film tries to say they can. But anyway, all that shit aside, yeah, I'm in a bit of a crossroads with that personally. I just felt like they could have done so much more with this premise. It's cool. I actually don't mind that they bring back Amanda Kruger for this film. I mean, we get a little bit of her story in part 3, so it's kind of, you know, cool to see her come back and explain.
I liked that they brought her back because it seemed like they just kind of threw her away after 3.
And yeah, all that sort of shit. I got to hand it to Stephen Hopkins. He's actually a visionary when it comes to cinematography, and you know, having learned his way through the film industry, working alongside Russell Mulcahy, a Melbourne director, obviously both Australian boys. You know, his aesthetic for that gothic style vision for this film actually really comes into show here. It's very atmospheric. This one, I think. Then the number 4 is very bright in your face, you know, neon lights here and there. This one really remains its shadow play of German expression films, I feel, you know, and I kind of get that, especially with the locations of this film and the asylum and that where Amanda Kruger was. But I do think that this film, for me personally, looks a lot better than part 4, just because it sort of dials it back to that gothic aesthetic. Especially when we get a reborn Freddy, you can tell it's definitely differently lit, that whole church scene that they bring back from the end of part 4.
Yes,
which was actually pretty cool to see him resurrect from that location he died. But I like the way in this film how it's actually lit a lot darker with harsher shadow play, and it gives Freddy this creepier vibe when you see like his silhouette jumping around and shit. So I'm definitely not the biggest fan of the dialogue in this film. It was pretty awful at times, especially the delivery from young Jacob, the kid. I know he's a kid actor and I shouldn't hang shit on him, but that was pretty awful. Some of Freddy's one-liners were absolutely crap. Even Freddy's makeup looked fucking shit in this film. And they even brought back the original makeup artist from the first film, I'm pretty sure. But they really should have teeter-totted with the idea of bringing back the Dream Warriors version of Freddy for this film, where he's got that dark humor. You know, he's very quick-witted in that film. And, that dark humor slides off the tongue extremely well. It's very funny at times, but you're like, fuck, this motherfucker's absolutely crook in the head. Bring back the makeup, because parts 1 and 2 have sort of got their own style and look, but part 3 sort of balances out 2 and 4, you know, so definitely should have brought him to make him look like an old man in this film. Looks shit. It does. It's fucking terrible. All in all, I won't bore you for much longer. This film is far from a fucking masterpiece at all, but for some reason, every time I put it on, I can at least enjoy it for what it is. I always find something positive about it no matter what, even though I know deep down that it's far from a perfect fucking film. So in saying that, I'm going to have to give it a Gore score of a 3.8.
All right.
So this is DKB signing out, and I shall catch you mother lickers next week. So cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers, Brody. Thank
you. Cheers,
Redster.
Cheers.
Hell yeah, dude.
I love you.
Thank you, Saucy Aussie, for that review and setting the bar at a 3.8.
Definitely do agree with him on the makeup. That's for sure. They could have.
I mean,
it's not horrible, but It could have been a little more gritty. Could have been a little more gritty. It's too shiny.
Fair.
Well,
All
I
right.
mean, I feel like if he was reborn,
He
and
wouldn't
the
be old.
way that he was reborn, he should have. I mean, it goes along with his look, I guess you could say, because realistically, I mean, not realistically, but if you want to think about it, him being reborn, he shouldn't have looked all fucked up to begin with because he was reborn.
Yeah, but I feel like his demon form is just him burned. You know what I mean? So that's just him regardless. I don't know.
But he wasn't reborn in the real world either.
So let's talk what Brody's one big question is, because I feel like that's kind of an interesting talk. Do babies dream? I honestly do not know that personally, but I will say, at least being around pregnant ladies and Scoobs, I'm sure you could say attest, they have some freaking crazy dreams themselves while being pregnant. So whether somehow that is actually interlinked and their dreams could affect their kid and vice versa. Now, to me, like Brody said, babies never experienced outside life. How would it know to dream that stuff?
Reincarnation.
Well, reincarnation is an idea if you believe that. However, there's also the idea of like, let's think of like the baby's canvas would be blank, right? But like, let's say if the mom's dreams themselves could affect the kid, you know, there's that possibility. But in this movie, we already have Freddy manipulating the child. Freddy could easily set the basis for the kid to be like, hey, this is what life is, and blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like, he's already set up levels. Like, he's already done stuff with this kid and started getting him in the process to where he wants him to be. And he's still a fetus, like, but somehow this kid already has a mental image of himself when he's like, what, 6 years old or something like that.
All right. So science.
Ooh, let's go.
Science says that they believe it's not a fact, but they believe that babies dream while in the womb, and that they probably dream about the sensations that they feel in the womb, just like babies after birth. This is because babies' sleep patterns include REM sleep, which is when us as adults dream. During REM sleep, a baby's eyes move back and forth just like an adult's. But scientists have discovered that they will not begin to experience REM until around week 23. And that's at the point when they start dreaming.
Now, that being known, and now obviously this is 2024 science and not 1989 science. How far along was she?
That was still a peanut. It had no visible features. Like it was, she was
bro, because they just
early.
like they just banged in the credits, and I'm assuming like our timescape wasn't that long.
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
but we don't.
I would say a month.
We assume that that's when she got pregnant, but she could have been pregnant before we saw that scene.
I'm willing to bet it's got to be at least a month of time, maybe either in between, or at least it's got to be significant to some sort of degree.
I feel like it would have to be. I mean, like Scoob said, it's got to be at least 21 weeks if that baby is capable of dreaming.
Yeah, Chad Daddy.
Hey, there he is.
Which I'm gonna have to say yes, because you know what I mean. Like he probably was still trying, but he never could get to her until there was like, oh, there's a back door.
But see, and that doesn't make any sense.
Why not?
Because what would keep him from being able to just enter her dream as opposed to anybody else? Why did it have to be the baby? What was special about the baby? The baby didn't have any powers. I could understand
because the baby's attached to her.
I know
she's already walled off, and then she let her defenses down.
Yeah, but it's an attachment. I don't know. It just
but going through the baby doesn't give her power. It's just using
now,
him.
I could understand if when she got pregnant, the embryo absorbed her dream powers the way.
Well, Freddy was also feeding it spirits too.
Yeah, so that's another fucked up thing. What's gonna happen when this kid comes out?
So we don't really know.
I need a reboot.
Oh, you know what?
Part 5 with the adult version of this kid.
Actually, hold on. Let's retrace our steps a little bit. So we all felt like this pregnancy was very fast, but I think they did actually mention that in the movie where he said your kid is a little bigger than what they should be at this point in time, but it's nothing to really worry about. Well, it's probably bigger because Freddy's been feeding this fucker souls, dude. You know what I mean? Like growing it. He's like hyper growing it, dude. Like, I don't know. Chad Daddy says Dream Child is complete ass. He has spoken.
The Dark Lord has spoken.
He's spoken.
I don't know, man. Like I said, set designs and everything, I think were pretty solid. And I like that we were trying to go back into the nightmare scenes. It's still a fucking stone's throw from even trying to be part 3, which is my top tier for.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the peak.
Series,
that is the peak.
It is
Nightmare on Elm Street.
It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. 6 we'll figure out next month, right?
Yeah.
Feeding its souls speeds up the process of its growing. Right, dude. He's just adding fertilizer to the baby, making that fucking churning that baby out. Dude, that baby's gonna come out like a full fucking human. Be like, excuse me, can you cut this? Thank you. Just fucking walking straight out. Alrighty. Is it time to discuss some behind the scenes?
I do got plenty here to say.
By all means, sir. Go right ahead.
He did not, Chad Daddy.
He did not.
No, he did not. According to director Stephen Hopkins, they got lots of tarantulas, hand-painted them green and red, and on the floor of the stage placed a little wall up in the shape of an arm and had trainers come in and around the tarantulas. The plan was to simply drop the wall and film the resulting scattering of the spiders. However, after they got the shot, they were left with the studio full of 200 angry tarantulas. Hopkins figures we probably carried on shooting on another set, I'm sure. I don't think anyone ever found them again. As far as the director knows, those spiders roamed freely through the studio and escaped into the free world, or maybe it is just somebody else's job to ensure the tarantulas were all accounted for.
So here's my thing about the tarantulas, and I'm glad you brought that up. She didn't kill not one tarantula.
No,
she
just like
stomping,
flung it off,
and then when
stomped
she
around them.
Yeah, stomped around them, but never once on the fucking spiders.
Nope, she did not.
Right,
Steven,
some arachnophobia, fucking Jeff Daniels, good old squishing people.
Check out Infested on Shudder at the end of this month. Speaking of arachnophobia,
dude, my Shudder backlog is ridiculous right now, man. Like,
yeah, I got to go through mine too. But continuing on, Stephen King and comic book writer Frank Miller were offered the job of writing and directing this movie. Alex Provost was also offered as his first directing project, but he turned it down because he didn't want to direct sequels and felt it was more fun to make original material. Okay, yeah, I've heard this next one I've heard. I'm sure you guys have too. Executive producer Sarah Risher's original pitch to New Line for Nightmare 3 was for Freddy to have a baby. Risher states, I went in, one of the executives was pregnant at the time, and I said, picture Freddy clawing his way out of the womb. No one liked my idea. So then I got a call for Nightmare 5, and they went, remember how you wanted him to have a baby? Well, we like that idea now. What if Alice was the mom? And that's true. He talks about it on the Never Sleep Again documentary.
All right. I mean, I didn't hate the premise of it, dude. I just feel like it could have been obviously executed way better, but
I agree 100%. New Line gave Stephen Hopkins just 4 weeks to shoot this film, even less than the 8 weeks for Nightmare 4, and a further 4 weeks for editing. This meant that he had to shoot on one stage while the crew dressed the other, so they could shoot almost continually. In the meanwhile, he also had to oversee special effects work. He said that he managed because he was 28 at the time and required a little sleep. His efforts paid off because when 20th Century Fox heard of this, they were so impressed that he was given the task of directing Predator 2.
That's true because Predator 2 is only a couple years off.
It was literally the next year.
90? I thought it was 91.
Yeah. No, 90.
Is it 90? All right.
which 8 weeks, that's not a lot of time.
Fuck no, man. That's why everything that's insane to think about that they were able to do shit in 8 weeks, man. Have you heard building sets and shit too? Goddamn. It's impressive.
Exactly. The laughter at the end, right before the credits roll, is a clip of Vincent Price laughing at the end of Michael Jackson's song Thriller. Price's laughter is sampled at the beginning of Kool Moe Dee's song Let's Go, which is played during the film's end credits.
I didn't get that at all. What the fuck was that about? Because I was like, oh shit, we're about to listen to Thriller. Nope. Dude, 89 in like rap songs for movies was like, I don't know, man. That was definitely a with the times thing. I mean, that lasted to probably like I would say 93, maybe 95.
Unlike the previous films, with the exception of the first one, the film main titles do not display the digit 5, just A Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dream Child.
Oh, whoops. Well, I guess I shouldn't have put 5 on there.
Fuck
me.
It's on the cover.
It is. It's also the final A Nightmare on Elm Street film until Freddy vs. Jason 2003 to feature Jump Rope Kids singing Freddy's theme.
Really? They're not in the next one?
Nope.
No, she's dressed in the white dress or whatever. Or no, she's not even wearing white.
No, it's
his
like
daughter,
pink.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's been a long time since I've seen 6, so that'll be interesting. I mean, we're a month out for that still, but all right.
At around 6 minutes during the sequence in which the nun is raped by the criminally insane, Robert Englund is wandering around in the background without his Freddy makeup, including one shot which the camera lingers on him for a few seconds. Englund stated that this was his favorite scene. There's no crew. It was just me and 100 extras and this little teeny floating crane camera. It was like having a drone on a little wiry crane, and there's a lot of wide shots in this magnificent set.
I said it was gross. Like it just looked like it was stinky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it smells like feet and fucking ass.
And piss.
Ugh,
there was no restroom.
No.
Oh, so it's the New York subway. All right.
Sounds just like it.
You know, everybody always says that, and when I was on the subway, I didn't notice anything.
You didn't go to the low enough trains.
Oh, probably.
You also probably went at a time where
I thought that too until my 3rd day in, and then we had to hit like this one really low base train, dude. It was gross down there. I think we ended up saying fuck it and walking.
Do better that way.
Yeah, right.
The film opened at number 3 at the box office, but it disappeared thereafter, and it was the lowest grossing film of the franchise. Robert Englund stated that the film was a success, and it did manage to make $22 million on an $8 million budget. However, the box office was less than half of Nightmare 4 had pulled in on a $6.5 million budget, which led to the decision to end the franchise with, obviously, Freddy's Dead in 91.
They gave him $1 million a week.
The problem is like the producers and shit expect the same kind of turnout like once you get a solid one. And the problem is that doesn't always happen, man. Sometimes it's just timing too, you know? It's not even necessarily that it's a better movie. It's just like when it drops and everything else. So I don't know.
All right, I'm going to skip a couple here. I want to get to this. The first screenplay was written by John Skipp and Craig Spector, but New Line didn't like it, calling it a Nightmare on Elm Street movie like Stanley Kubrick would do it. It was substantially changed by Leslie Boehm, and virtually nothing of the original screenplay made it to the film. According to Skipp, the only phrase, "It's a boy," was retained.
It's a boy.
Which I like. Only around half of Boehm's screenplay was kept after further rewrites by William Wisher and David J. Scow. And the final screenplay was further put together and changed just a few days before shooting director Stephen Hopkins and producer Mike DeLuca. According to Hopkins, one of Boehm's ideas that was written out had Alice and her friends rehearsing a school performance of the play Medea, which he described as very weird.
Probably not the Medea as we know.
No.
You mean it's not the Diary of a Mad Black Woman?
Right? Yeah,
It's
exactly.
great. That's fucking funny as shit. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, shit,
Writer
Gene says he won the contest.
Writers John Skip and Craig Spector had to fight to get credit for their work on the script. Okay. If you were a Nightmare on Elm Street fan looking at that poster in 1988 and 1989, you were probably curious what the heck Dreamchild meant and what was going on in the fetus and the crystal ball in Freddy's glove. Well, the people making the film thought the same thing too. That poster came out before they actually had a clear idea on what the movie was going to be about beyond its premise and title. Yeah, I've seen that poster. It makes no sense.
Sounds cool.
It does. It's literally the same poster we have here, just a crystal ball with the fetus in it.
All right. So they
That one.
changed it from that to the fucking stroller. Whatever.
Yeah. The only Nightmare on Elm Street film of the original 6 to not have any direct involvement from Rachel Talalay. I can't say it right, whatever. Who had worked on Elm Streets 1 and 4 in various crew roles. She was the producer on the previous 2 movies, but felt too exhausted from that experience to do another, and she had already committed to Crybaby. Her role was taken over by her husband, Rupert Harvey, so she joked that the job at least stayed in the family. She is thanked in the end credits, and there is a blink and you'll miss it call out on the doctor's door in the baby clinic to Dr. Tala. She was ultimately reunited with Freddy in her directorial debut, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare in 91.
No shit. All right. Yeah, I wouldn't have caught that door reference myself, but that's just me.
I honestly wouldn't have either.
All right.
Okay, here. These next two are good. Okay. A year after the film's release, director Stephen Hopkins expressed his disappointment with the finished product. He said it was a rushed schedule without a reasonable budget, and after I finished it, New Line and the MPAA came in and cut the guts out of it completely. What started out as an okay film with a few good bits turned into a total embarrassment. I can't even watch it anymore. The film was so reveled by fans of the franchise that it was decided to kill off Freddy Krueger, which we all know. Ironically, the latter film would go on to become more reviled than this film and would eventually be better received and accepted by some fans.
Yeah.
Okay, here's where some of the shit that we're missing. Now we get into some of the guts. All death sequences were cut down significantly in order to avoid an X. Dan's original motorcycle death was longer and contained much more gore. In Dan's scene, cables can be seen sliding under the skin of Dan's arm. A large piece of bike pierces his leg, and the skin on Dan's head is much more graphically torn off while he screams in pain. Scenes which are seen on screen for only a few seconds are several minutes long on film. The entire sequence is much longer, and the timing of Freddy's quips are different. Greta's dinner scene was also edited. Originally, Freddy filleted the Greta doll with the claw glove, causing it to spurt blood everywhere, and then force-fed her its innards. Shots of the guests laughing were cut. Also, after Freddy said, "You are what you eat," she looked down and realized he had gutted her and was feeding her mush from her own stomach. This explains why the Greta doll in Mark's dream is bleeding from its torso. Finally, Mark's demise is also cut. As Freddy shreds the paper in the unrated release, his face is animated and shows him screaming along to his cries of pain until Freddy cuts his paper head off. All 3 scenes can be viewed unedited in the original unrated VHS release.
Damn.
And that was the first time that New Line did an unrated version of a movie to come out on VHS.
Well, what the fuck, man? Dude, that extra like bike scene shit, because that was cool shit already, dude. But that sounds even better, dude. Just that much elongated.
Yeah, I would. That would have been so nice.
I mean, if we're only getting 3 deaths, man, you should make them meaningful as fuck, dude. You know, like for sure. Oh well. What else we got, Bobby?
All right, we got 3 more here. We'll get through. Mark is the only character in the film who used Dream Warrior power, though failed, to confront Freddy. All of Mark's drawings were supposed to come alive during his death scene, but were too long and cut down.
You know what? You're 100% right on that.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only one that like turned into his own character or tried to do something. Huh. No shit.
The USA VHS was released both an R-rated and unrated version with additional footage. The unrated VHS had a yellow star on it and says the full-length uncensored version contains material not seen in theatrical release. This version was released in both regular version and for promotional use only, not for resale version.
Bullshit.
I just found it on
Yeah,
eBay.
Yeah.
You can get, well, it's not the movie by itself, but it's part 2 and part 5, and it's the unrated part 5 for $44.
Damn.
Or actually $32.
On VHS?
Yep. But you get part 2 and part 5.
I don't need part 2. But all right. That's awesome though. Why can't they re-release that on fucking DVD or Blu-ray?
Oh, hey, it's on Amazon for fucking $11.
Oh,
Oh,
The
shit.
VHS?
the picture shows the unedited one, but when you click on it, it's the
Edited.
one. Yeah, it's gay.
Probably bullshitting you.
Bullshit caca.
Anything else, Roberto?
That is it.
Alrighty, sir. Thank you kindly for that. And thank you kindly to Chad Daddy for sending Bobby those notes.
Yes.
Alrighty, boys. What format did we watch this on?
DVD box set.
I did not bust out my DVD box set this time. I watched it on Netflix.
I'm with Scubas. I went the lazy train. It's like Netflix has that shit. I'm watching it.
It's exactly as I said. I'm not going to walk to the living room. I'm good. I'm just going to watch it here.
Which was fine. You know,
Yeah.
that's cool.
It's the same shit.
I pay for that shit, so I might as well fucking use it.
Mm-hmm.
Gene watched it on Gene Flix. I like it.
Gene Flix.
All right. Douche of the film.
What's his name's parents for trying to fucking take her baby?
Yes. Yeah.
Bro.
Fuck them.
We didn't even talk about that scene.
Yeah, Dan's parents are
What?
fucking
Okay.
dicks.
First of all, I'm pretty sure that doctor violated all sorts of HIPAA violations, dude.
Well,
Like,
I don't think HIPAA was a thing in '89.
I don't know. Was it? Maybe. Probably not.
Very close
But
to it.
still, just be like, I understand that they're the grandparents and all,
But
but
that's her child.
why is he calling them?
Because he was probably a friend of theirs. HIPAA did not enact until 1996,
Ooh, okay.
August
All right.
21st. So
Interesting.
he was probably friends with the parents and called the parents and was like, "She's batshit crazy, y'all." Or
Why wouldn't he call
or-
her dad?
Or the doctor knows about Freddy Krueger. Calls the parents because his parents know about Freddy Krueger. Because they are, in fact, Elm Street kids. So,
Yeah, but how would she did mention it though at that point, didn't she?
mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Maybe. That's a hard maybe.
That definitely was still like a weird fucking scene, man. Like, if any scene had the most amount of audacity in that scene, it was that one.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, bro? Like, I can understand you as a grandparent wanting to do everything for that child that you possibly could, but to just come in and suggest, hey, how about you just give it to us?
Yeah. Like, this fucked up.
And it's like, bro, I haven't even popped this kid out yet. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, Scuba, you might have had to be, you might have changed my thought on that. I wasn't even thinking about them, but that was a solid pick.
As soon as I saw that, I'm like, wow, your douche is like, not only is she getting over the fact of losing her significant other, now you want to come and take her kid?
Yeah.
Dude, I might have to go with them.
I'm going with them.
Damn. Yeah, no, that was a good pick, man. Good pick for sure.
Thank you.
I see. I was gonna say for my original pick, and I'm still gonna give runner up is oh my goodness, what's her name? Was Gina? Greta's mom. She was kind of a cunt.
Oh
And
yeah.
clearly she was fixated on Greta becoming something that Greta did not want to become at all. So she was she's one of those bad kid actor moms, dude, that doesn't give a shit what happens to their kids.
Yep.
As long as their kids get famous because they have to live vicariously through them. So I'm gonna at least throw her still because I feel like she's definitely a good honorable mention alongside with those parents.
Just an update. You can buy the unrated. You can own your very own copy of the unrated Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, still sealed, in perfect condition for $105.64 on VHS.
That is such a weird number.
No thanks. Gene, what are you talking about the Guyver over there, buddy? I'm always down for the Guyver talk. Isn't Alice the douche? Is Alice the douche? How would Alice be the douche?
I mean, yeah, that's no.
I mean, like, even if Freddy's using her, it was unbeknownst to her through her own undeveloped child's dreams. So
yeah, that's not her. That's not her.
That's
fault.
not her fault.
Yeah, she's just getting used. Unless we're going with something else. But all right, favorite kill, and there's not many to choose from. So I'm going to go with Dan's death.
Yeah, not even a question, Dan.
Scoobs?
I'm
Go ahead.
gonna go Greta because
okay.
at least Freddy actually. I mean, yeah, Freddy had a hand in Dan's death, but the truck killed Dan. So I'm gonna go with Greta because Freddy killed Greta.
I think that's why we kind of got almost that similar scene in New Nightmare,
Yeah,
but better.
yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Because as soon as I was watching this scene, that's where my head instantly went. It was like, oh man, seeing a New Nightmare is so much cooler.
Yeah.
But this scene is badass, especially
Yes.
with the morphing. What's not badass is we're gonna rewind it back just a little bit, right? And it's just when Dan starts freaking out in the truck. And I know maybe you guys didn't notice particularly, but hopefully subconsciously. So when he's doing his left and right, like skirching, that skirch, I swear to God, is from Scooby-Doo. It is literally the same, like,
yeah.
And if you listen to it and watch that movie, which I did twice, so I got to that scene, dude, it goes on for so long, and they reuse that same sound clip like anytime he starts, dude. They're reusing that sound clip, dude. So it's like 8 times.
See, now I gotta go rewatch that scene.
And no, because if you close your eyes and hear it, and then you're gonna be like zoinks, and that's all you fucking
like Scoops.
Yeah, and it's just like, bro, they ripped that. That is one huge pet peeve of mine is when movies, and I understand, like, there's like those basic sound effects and images and shit like that people can use and blah blah blah. But when they overutilize basic sound effects, dude, and you hear the same thing in multiple movies and shit, it instantly takes me right out of that scene completely. And that did that for a little bit because I was just like, I rewound it the first time because I was just like, Jen, did you hear that? She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, that shit is literally Scooby-Dooing the fucking, like, that's like if they're just fucking pulling out or breaking, that's that Scooby-Doo, like I'm pretty. I mean, was it Warner Brothers at that point? No, it was New Line.
It was New Line.
No, it was still New Line. It was Warner Brothers didn't happen until early 2000s.
Yeah. I was gonna say Warner Brothers just because I think Scooby-Doo affiliate, whatever. Okay, so best scene. Man, I still might go with Dan's death scene because that whole fucking scene
the
was
leading up to Dan's death, the transformation.
Yes.
I kind of almost wish that he was actually on a bike and plowed.
It would make way more sense of, yeah. Because I got confused because I looked down for a second, looked back up, and all of a sudden now we were on a motorcycle, and I was like, wait, how did we traverse to this? So
yeah, I'm gonna go with Freddy's rebirthing scene. It's a boy.
Also solid scene.
Plus, it's also the best lighting this whole movie for Freddy.
You know what? And I even like, and well, I guess it depends. I mean, I guess it would still be almost that scene, but right before that, where we get his mom actually giving birth, like in that whole like room and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then that one nurse is like, "Oh, it's still a child of God," and she's like, "Yeah, no."
Like, no,
that baby's literally crawling around, and it just walked out of the womb. That thing is a fucking animal. Like, no. All right. Worst moment or scene.
The ending.
The comic book death.
Just probably the death. I liked most of the comic book scene stuff with like Super Freddy.
Comic book scene was cool.
Right.
The comic book death was
lame.
Shit.
He looked like he was drawn like Daria, and like Freddy was killing an animated Daria. Yeah. No, I get
La,
it. Yeah.
La la la.
I'm
yeah,
going
no,
with
you know what?
The ending.
The very ending?
Well, like, okay, that little fight sequence, it just made no sense.
Are we talking about like once the kid turns his own face and stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. That would lead us to, did the opening scene hook us in? And I guess that depends on what are we talking for opening scene.
It's got to be the sex scene.
Are we talking about sexy credits, like sex scene opening credits? I'm gonna say you had me interested. I don't know if it hooked me in because I was just like, "What are we doing here?"
Yeah, I would say
you almost no boob. You didn't see no boob. I was almost not interested.
But you do see boob right after the fact. You see
blurry
her in the
boob.
She's in the shower.
I want to see clear boob. I don't need no frosted glass titties.
Titties is titties, man. And when you're a young kid and you get to see titties, it's like a magical day. And even when you're a 39-year-old man, it's still a magical day.
It's magical when you're 42 too.
Yeah, right. It never changes.
It's
always like
boobs.
Yep.
So Mel's not here, so I'm gonna tell this story. So I'm playing Helldivers last night, right? And she's
segue.
She takes her shirt off or whatever, and she sits down on the bed, and Charlie's asleep. And I look over, and I guess she doesn't realize that like her sports bras, like the girls were popping out, and I'm just staring. I have no idea what I'm doing on Helldivers.
Running into bug nest.
I was like, but I didn't dive, and I was looking for a good like 30 seconds for her. She's like, "What are you looking at?" I'm like, "Boobs."
Hell yeah, dude. Brody said he's installing frosted glass right now.
Brody, we need
picture of you with your bare ass behind that, or it's not true.
Pressed ham.
Pressed ham.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like openings, the credits was just kind of like, I don't know.
It was an interesting opening, I'll say that.
I felt like I was watching a Skinamax movie.
That's exactly what I said. I was like, I feel like I'm watching porn on Cinemax.
Because it's like, it's all that where you know it's porn, but you're not seeing like the action. Because you know what I mean? Like you're seeing sensual shots of like the navel and stuff like that. Just it's slightly sweaty skin.
It was like the opening to the Red Shoe Diaries.
Like it's definitely something where you wouldn't want to watch this, and then also like that's the moment your mom comes in. And you're like, "Mom, go away! What are you watching?"
Never on Elm Street, Mom.
Hey, never 5. Go away.
God. You don't believe me? Look.
But I did like the opening scene that we started off right with a dream.
I did.
I thought that was kind of cool. It kind of sets precedence, and there's no Freddy in that dream. You know what I mean? But it sets the precedence for the rest of the movie of okay, we're going to be dealing with Amanda and this new bullshit with her. So most attractive character.
Oh, now that
you know what, man? I mean, I'm gonna have to say Dan for the dudes because you know Dan's got that fucking 80s jock fucking like whoa bro motif. Where ladies, I'm gonna have to say Greta because she was just smoking.
I'm going Amanda Kruger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's cute.
She
the nun. Yeah, Rich even agreed. Rich agreed. All right. Gene's going to Alice.
Yeah, okay. I'll go Amanda too.
Alice was a little bit more blonde in this one. I feel
Very much more blonde.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't recognize her almost even in the opening scene because I was like, wait, is that fucking her, dude? Like, and then when she gets out of that dream, it's a little bit back to the red, but not as much as 4.
You know, I will say this Amanda Kruger was a lot cuter than Amanda Kruger in part 3.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, she was like old lady nun.
She was old lady nun in that one, yeah.
Which might be hot, but in a totally different circumstance than. Hey, man, dirty old nun, man.
We don't yuck anybody's yum on this show.
No, man. She could be like that hot old librarian that's just got a really bad side. That's just like, oh, all right. She's got that chest of paddles that just opens up, and you're like, well, ma'am.
Why I did not read my Bible verses this week.
They're all numbered 1 through 62. Like, all right. Let's see. Did the score set the mood? I'm gonna say it kind of fit, but it's nothing that I was just like. There was no moments where I was like, "Ooh, this is a really nice like hit to it," or even like a creep. You know what I mean? I don't think we ever had any like a good slow melody. Like, yeah, we had the Freddie song with the girls singing, but
yeah,
they even changed that up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? At the end, he's back again. It's like, no, that's not it. Don't fuck it up. 1,000 lunatics aren't there. I don't know, man. They might be. That poor woman, dude. As soon as the doors closed, that was like the first instinctual fucking thing on like every. It was just bad news bears.
Literally.
So,
I didn't even mean to say that. No. I already know where you're going with it.
No, you don't know where I'm going with it. You don't.
All right,
I'm going a completely different way. So I've been this is a stupid sidebar, but I watched Fallout, so I got back into the games. So I started re-looking up the lore and shit of Fallout, and I don't remember what vault it is, but there was a vault where there was 100 men or 99 men and one woman.
And then there's another vault where there's 99 women and one man.
I want to be the guy in that one vault.
Yeah, I mean, who won it?
Death by snoo, damn it.
Look at that, dude. You know there's somebody out there tapping ghouls, though. It's all good, dude.
You know, the memes that I've seen from women about the ghoul in the Fallout show, it makes me worried for our future.
Does it surprise you, though, man? Look how many women think, like all these, like, serial killer shows, everything since, like, Dahmer came out, dude. Like, all the women that all of a sudden are like, oh, my God, Dahmer's sexy. You're like, bro,
he fucking...
What the fuck, man? Like...
Bro.
I can't even, I don't know. But then dudes are just as bad, if not worse, because I'm sure you've seen it where you've seen that there was a collection of women who are hot, but they're mugshots.
Yeah. Like so Jodi Arias, I don't know if you guys know who Jodi Arias is. She killed her boyfriend, like fucking slit his throat in the shower, some shit. It was like very big case a few years ago. She's fucking hot. And I was like, yeah, I'd risk it. I'd totally fucking risk it,
right? You know how many dudes would be like, I could fix her. Like,
no, I don't want to fix her. I don't want to fix her. I just don't want to fix her.
That reminds me of an old Christopher Titus joke, and it's like, dude, the crazy ones are the best because, like, if there's always a chance you might get stabbed through the night for some reason, the sex is not.
Oh my God! I've heard that one.
Back to the list here. So, best song. Are we going to go with the rap song at the end?
Yeah, because it's really the only song I can think of.
Fair enough. All right. Favorite character?
Frederico. Again.
Because honestly, any of these friend characters kind of just are lame throwaways, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, Freddy for the win. Sure.
The random baby that's not born, but yet somehow is the kid from Jurassic Park that's a dick to Alan Grant.
What did you do? I was a dick to Alan Grant in Jurassic Park. Oh shit!
You know that dude's only like 5'2".
Yeah, he's not that tall.
Really?
Yeah, he's only 5'2".
That sucks. Oh well, this shit happens. Alrighty. Was it scary?
No.
Not
in the slightest.
Nope. I never watched this as a kid either, so I can't even give my kids' point of view. So Unfortunately, no. Scoobs, you said the shower thing, but that's just one of
Yeah.
those weird kid quirks. I think that like sometimes you see something that just sticks in your brain.
Jean, I know she sliced them up, and I don't care if she can cook because I bet you she look cooking in the bedroom. That's all I need to do.
All right. Alrighty. Does it hold up today?
No.
No, it should be not redone, but you know what I mean.
They should re-release the unrated version.
I agree. I mean, I feel like the practical effects and everything hold up. They still look pretty all solid. Although Brody said he wasn't particularly a fan of Freddy's look in this one, so
yeah.
Maybe they just don't. Unfortunately, this budget and time was constrained a little bit both ways. So
2 months. So there you go.
Fucking right, dude. Tight 2 months. All right. Did we like the acting?
I did not.
You did not.
I did not. Like I said, it felt very. I don't know. Very like.
Did her one friend that had the candy stripe? Did she seem a little ham-fisted when she was?
She seemed a little. She did. She did. And then, like I said, the I forget the kid's name. Comic book guy. He his acting was horrible, especially when he was trying to explain to the candy striper about the stuff that he found. Where did he find all that shit?
Yeah, right.
Like,
who knows?
Did they have that in a section at the library? Like, what the fuck?
I mean, by the time we get to Freddy versus Jason, we were looking at old newspaper clippings that were all blacked out and shit,
Yeah,
so that's how
this is true.
So it's possible, I guess. All righty, let's see. Where are we? Cinematography.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. There were definitely some great shots, like that shot of Freddy in the cathedral.
In front of when he's like, it's a shadow almost, and he's like almost like hugging himself. Yeah, no, 100%. I like that. And I like the shots of him like actually growing. The shots of Dan turning into the bike were fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I like this. I liked the shot of when he starts ripping out of Amanda and the camera's just going back and those doors are closing down that hallway.
That was cool as hell. That
I liked.
Because it felt like she was almost trying to close those doors with her mind, and he's just breaking through each fucking one. No, I dig that. That was solid. All right. Premise. Did we like the premise?
Yes, just wasn't executed best.
I'm fine with it, honestly. I kind of dig it. I'm cool with it. We're on the 5th installment, so I'm down for everything.
Soft yes.
Soft yes. Okay. I like it as well. And was the climax satisfying?
No.
What was the climax? It was just Amanda took him back in, right? To like her womb.
I would say the climax was the last, like the scene where Jacob's running from Freddy.
Because like, man, I'm trying to think like right before that when like I liked when the souls' heads were like ripping out of his back and like pulling him into that like
that part was.
I like that.
It was poor. It was just poorly executed. There's no other way to say.
Well, no, wait. How did he turn back into the baby? What turned him back into the baby? Because that's how he was able to get it reabsorbed by his mom.
I don't remember all of a sudden.
Was it just the kid Jacob himself, like turned the power against him?
I don't even remember.
Something like that.
I feel like how am I? Like,
yeah, I just watched it. Yeah.
We're missing like 5 fucking minutes here somehow.
No, here's the best way to describe the ending. Boo! Boo, Wendy Testaburger. Boo!
I mean, I thought it was still better than just a mirror reflection, but
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll give you that, John. I will give you that.
I mean, it kind of made you knew the mom had to come play at some point. She was a ghost trap for Freddy, so that's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, get back in my tummy. All right. Recycle, rewind, remake, or reboot. You know what? It is what it is, dude. I'm just gonna rewind it.
Yeah.
I would like to see the unedited, like Scoob mentioned earlier. Like, if I could see that, I'd probably like it better. So if you could just re-release that on Blu-ray, that'd be fantastic.
I'm gonna add re-release.
Re-release. All right.
Release.
I mean, it sounds like we had some solid extra scenes. So
Yeah.
we just missed out. Freddy coming out of Alice was cool. The kid spews on Freddy. That's right. Yes. Yeah, he pukes on that. He pukes that fucking weird like shit log. And it fucking hits him.
Take it easy, Richard.
Hell yeah.
Later,
Rich, thank you, homie. Thank you always for hopping in, homie. Alrighty, so let's rate this bitch. Brody started it with a 3.8. Oh. Hello there, Mr. Cheddar.
How are you gonna bust ass on the podcast with your microphone on?
Not only that, but
That
like
was
in
not
the,
subtle. That was
that
not subtle at all, Bobby.
I'll say
I heard it earlier.
Bob
I
is
heard it
the-
earlier and I let it slide. I can't let it slide this time, Bobby. What the fuck?
Bob's the dude that throws the notebook down. The notebook claps, and then he farts.
I didn't think I was gonna be loud enough.
You should have waited when
Sorry
I was
for everybody.
talking or something.
Sorry for everybody out there,
This is
but
Bobby. This is Bobby. Ready?
It was like you timed it for the silence perfectly, homie. That was great.
The lean and everything too. Like we can't see him in the fucking. Like he's not there. Like we don't have. He doesn't have a camera right fucking in front of him. Oh my god! I'm clipping this. Somebody, I'm gonna clip this part and make it.
Welcome to the shit show.
Oh my god! Oh shit!
Tears in my eyes,
Oh
dude.
my
Holy shit.
god! I'm fucking crying.
I do apologize, Lord. I apologize.
No, you don't. 'Cause it was the second time you did it. You don't mean it. You don't mean it. And it was quiet the last time he did it too, and I just didn't say nothing.
I don't think I heard it.
I heard it.
I didn't think anybody heard it.
I was like, either Bobby or John just farted right now. I don't know which one of it, because both of you were like this. Both of you were just. But then I heard, and I'm like, one of them just ripped something.
Dude, my finger is on the M at all time in case I
You
get
might
myself.
you might as well have just stuck your ass right in front of your camera, Bobby. That's how nonchalant you fucking did that shit.
Oh, I love it.
Oh fuck.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Let me get.
Brody
let me
said,
settle
"Don't be
down
sorry,
here.
Bobby. I actually pooed on the show."
I believe that.
Oh fuck.
He did. Remember
Mhm.
that one thing where he started up? Oh, that was great. All right. So Brody started off with this 3.8. Scuba, what you got?
I'm
Be honest with yourself, homie. It's all good.
all right. 2.8.
2.8, higher than I expected you. Bob?
I'm gonna give it a 3.2.
3.2. And I'm in agreement with Scoops, man. It's a 2.8 for me, homie. Like, it's solid. It's still over half. You know what I mean? Like, I'll watch it again for sure, but definitely not the best. All right. And let's divide that bitch. So that gives us a combined score of 3.15. So 3.2 for 1989's Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dream Child. All right.
Okay, that's not bad.
We'll have to send that to Chad Daddy so he can mark that down, unless he heard us. Next episode, boys, what are we covering?
Body Snatchers.
The 93 film.
93 Body Snatchers.
Sure.
Okay. This is a when did we do the 78 one? Was that February?
Yes, somewhere around there.
All right, let me look this up here. Body Snatchers. Where can we watch this, mother licker? You said 1990?
Yes. No, 93.
93. Thank you. All right. Looks like it's on Amazon for rent. Pretty much everywhere for rent. Amazon, Google, YouTube, Apple, all that good shebangs. Body Snatchers. I can't say I've ever watched this before. So, all right.
I don't know
Forrest-
if I've seen the remake.
Forrest Whitaker is in it.
I haven't seen this one. I've heard good things, but I haven't seen it.
So you could rent the movie or just buy it for $7 on Amazon.
Okay, no, that's not a bad price.
Yeah, you can rent it for half the price or buy it. Ugh. Well, we'll see. I guess we will hear about it. Brody says it's his pick. All right, solid. Like I said, I've never seen it myself, so I'm very interested to see it. I'm sure we're gonna get some '90s body horror then for sure, which I'm always looking forward to.
I'm down for that.
All righty. So that takes us to, let's see, dude. May's a solid month, man. So we're doing Body Snatchers next week. Then we're revisiting the Evil Dead franchise and doing Rise, which is solid because I haven't watched that since it's dropped. So awesome. And then we're finishing off May with High Tension, which is that's the one I haven't probably watched in like a solid decade.
I've never seen it.
Really?
I've never seen it.
It's a French film.
It's good.
It came out in the height, I would say the height of like late 2000s, like pre-2010s, but like late 2000s, like that grimy horror, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but
I've heard of it. I've never watched it.
The cover felt like it was kind of trying to ride the Saw train a little bit.
Okay.
In my mind, just with the coloring and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff like that. Ooh, Chad Daddy says Body Snatchers is awesome. All right, so solid picks. Anything nerdy, boys?
I have something, and thanks to Super Earth and our awesome
community,
community, man, we reversed Sony's decision to have a PlayStation Network account to play Helldivers 2 if you're playing on PC, which saves 120 countries from not being able to play the game.
Which is crazy.
Yeah,
if that many countries can't somehow.
That's fucked up.
Like that's on Sony's bad. You know what I mean? Dude? Like why not just open it up to those countries?
Yeah. Well, and I think it was a money thing, which is it's whatever, but it was really, really unfair to those countries that don't have access to PlayStation. And I kind of already figured that it wasn't gonna. Dude,
the backlash hit way too hard and way too heavy, way too fast.
Yeah,
and I only hope that people realize that this was not on Arrowhead, and that now that it's been changed, they go back and undo or redo their negative reviews.
Well, Arrowhead was the one telling everybody to go and
I know. That's why I love this company, dude.
Yeah, they're fucking great. They listen.
Dude, they literally don't even give a shit. And like obviously they had to get the go ahead from Sony to release this game, right?
Yeah.
And they're still just like, nah, dude, fuck those guys. They're the ones that did that shit. Take it to them.
And they listen to us as the game players and actually do shit that we want them to do in the game. So I typed up an email and I sent it off because I feel the game on the ship is lacking something. So I sent an idea. Hopefully they'll like it and they will add it to the game, because I think it would be something fun to do while you're on the ship. And that's at a firing range. That way you can.
You know what? We've talked about this, me and my buddy as well, dude, where it's because you have so many different weapons, but like taking them into battle, if they suck right away and now you're into a 40-minute fucking match with a shit fucking weapon. So either you're dealing with it or hopefully to God your teammate dies and you can steal their fucking gun.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, I 100% agree.
I sent them an email saying, hey, this was my thought. And I'm sure other people have had it too. And hopefully multiple people have had this thought and sent it to them. So that way they can hear us out. And because there's really not a lot to do on the ship, and there's so much space on the ship, they could just open up a little firing range, to go in and have practice targets just so we can test the guns out to see exactly what each gun can do. Now, I'm not saying bring down your stratagems, have access to that. The games that you purchase, the guns that you get, let me try it out before we go into battle, like you said, because the gun could suck. And
and make sure and still keep it where you have to buy the weapon, right?
Yeah.
Like you're going to be pissed off that you bought it, but you still have to buy it in order to try it out. But at least if you could try it out, you could save that time. No, 100%, dude. I wish they would do that. Especially with you got a new battle pass dropping in 2 days. So you got 4 more weapons coming.
Yep.
3 new mains and a pistol, I believe. So fuck yeah, dude. Internet backlash wins again.
Fuck yeah.
Sonic was not the only thing that we had.
Sonic was not. Nope.
Yep, and it won't. I'm glad
And it
that
won't be
happened.
the last.
Because you know what, man? Like, and people that were shitting on Arrowhead, dude, like, fuck you guys. Because that company gave us a AAA game at the price point of $40.
Yeah.
And they don't expect anything more. So it's like, dude, yeah, 100%. Hell yeah, Scoobs. I'm glad you brought that up. I was kind of on the fence whether or not to bring that up, but
That's fucking nerd shit right there. And that's like literally 80% of what I'm doing in life right now is protecting, managed democracy, spreading that managed democracy.
I know that automatons are getting fucking close, dude. I gotta start fighting them more.
Dude, even the terminids are getting close. Like,
I think something's gonna happen soon. You watch, dude. Something's gonna happen for a flip for whatever fucking reason.
We'll see.
Chad Daddy wanted us to mention that GB Frozen Empire will be hitting digital stores as of tomorrow. So if you can't wait for that physical and you just fucking need it, which I'm not going to say I don't understand, you can get that shit on Amazon, Vudu, and all that other good shit tomorrow. So fuck it, dude. Not even tomorrow. Probably within a couple hours. It should probably drops at midnight, I imagine.
Oh, yeah. Just wait and you'll get it.
Fucking right, dude. I'm waiting for the physical myself, dude, because with the physical, you can get the digital anyways. So
same.
Gene is mentioning Ben Affleck in the MCU, but not as Daredevil. I do not know anything about that.
Neither do I. Haven't heard anything about that.
I'm gonna look it up though. Sweet. Let's see what else. Bob, you had some horror stuff, right?
Well, the one thing that stood out only because when we were talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022 gets its not a Blu-ray, but a pinball machine.
Yay! No, it looks cool as shit though. It does.
There was a couple others, but the more I read them, I'm like, it didn't really lead anywhere. So
I like pinball, but I've never been into the pinball like the virtual pinball games, like the old school 95 shit back on home PCs. Absolutely,
yeah.
You know what I mean. But like, as for like these new style ones, like they're cool and all, but I would rather see like a physical version of this built, if anything,
Yeah, no, there's not too many other things.
Good. Thank you, Brody. We got a new Freddy Steelbook coming. First one, right?
Yeah, it's the first one.
Kind of bare bones, though, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
that's a lot of stuff on it.
That's why when I saw it, I'm like they did it with the first 4 Friday movies. I'm like, I have all these special features. I don't need the Steelbook version. I'd rather just get a nice Blu-ray 4K box set of those movies if that ever happens. That would be a buy. Not a Steelbook of the first one with not so much. Oh, I have the Halloween one, Gene.
The Halloween Steelbook?
No, the 4K box sets they came out with. I got them separate.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I got the original one from 2014. So,
dude, Walmart had the Steelbook yesterday of I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I was really weirdly torn on whether I should get that or not, because on one hand, I don't remember that being that good of a movie. On the other hand, it was a cool cover. It was
Walmart's coming out with a lot of cool Steelbooks.
Dude, they have. I mean, there was nothing that I truly was like, I need to have this when I was there yesterday. But everything that I saw, it looked awesome.
Yeah.
But like I was telling Bob, you know what pissed me off about Walmart yesterday? An entire section for Netflix physical stuff. So most of it, probably 90-95%, is all Stranger Things. And then they had a couple other series that they also had physical disc of, like Wednesday and shit, which pisses me off because where the fuck is my Texas Chainsaw Massacre? God damn it. Just Netflix. Just even if you sold them out of your own distribution centers, fucking sell them. You know what I mean? Because do they still do DVDs by mail?
I don't know.
I'm sure.
I think they do. And if they do, my question would be could I rent in physical form TC22 from Netflix? And if I can, why the fuck isn't that shit in stores?
I don't think you can. I don't think they do DVDs anymore.
I don't know. I've never looked.
I'm gonna look
But
right
it's-
now.
But it's just so weird. Like
They
again,
probably don't, but
you get this pinball of the movie itself. You can't fucking get a goddamn DVD about it.
that just means that there's still like a good liking for it if they're making a specific pinball devoted to that.
That's
that
true.
one, you know what I mean?
But
Damn.
it's like where?
We got Steve.
Netflix stopped mailing DVDs on September 29th, 2023, ending its 25-year DVD rental business.
Wow.
2023 though.
Yeah.
That means it's possible they did fucking. Oh man. I mean, I know Brody's got a physical, and I could get one too. I haven't yet, but
But it would just be nice to see an official one.
yes, 100%.
That would be nice.
Let's see. Was there anything else nerdy? I think I saw Gutter Garbs have been going crazy, dude. Oh yeah, what was the Teen Wolf? They're dropping some Teen Wolf stuff. So if that's your thing,
I get their text messages, and every
Same.
time I get a text, I just go like this: No money is going to you right now.
Which
No.
funny enough, on Sunday I actually got it was last call for their Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 pre-order stuff.
I should have did the Part 3 one, but
yeah, you know it happens, dude. Whatever. But yeah, so Gutter Garbs is always going hard and strong. Let's see. Yep, it was Star Wars weekend. So once again, tell the Star Wars boys out there and ladies, may the 4th be with you, and Revenge of the 5th and all that good stuff. Dude, all right. Who's Scoobs? You were raised Catholic.
Mhm.
Bob, are you?
yeah.
So when anybody says may the 4th be with you,
And also
And
with
also
you.
with you.
how it's like instantaneously, like
Mhm.
it has to, like you have to regurgitate that out, like it's like a spasm for whatever fucking reason.
Like it could be the most random part of the day. Someone says to you, it's just, and also with you. What the fuck?
Like what? Like y'all, man.
Uh,
It's just how it goes. Anything else, nerdy boys?
No.
All right,
Nothing
let's
really.
wrap this shit up then. Scuba, you want to start us off?
Ladies and gentlemen, as always, I'm your host with the ghost, the prince of the paranormal, the duke of the dead, Lord Scuba Cobra, saying, I'll see you next week. Or will I?
Let's hope.
This is your killing machine, Bobby Moan, saying join us next week for Body Snatchers 1993. Watch out. Don't fall asleep. The pods will get you.
Yeah, and I am your Fluff Master Supreme, Big Johnny D, saying thank you once again, Gorehounds, for joining us for another fantastic episode. I can't even talk here. Thank you for everybody for joining into the chat. It is always super appreciated. Thank you for any of the shares. Anybody that's listening, for you people that want to listen to the audio, thank you guys too. Thank you for sharing it if you can. And if you haven't, give us a share. You know what I mean? Give us a review too. I know Spotify's got that new thing where you can like write a sentence or two about a podcast. So if you're giving a list to, leave us on. Doesn't have to be negative. It can be negative, it can be positive, whatever. Anything will do. Other than that, next week, Body Snatchers. And yeah, hope to see you then. And remember, stay fresh, cheese bags.